Hello and welcome back to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. That's Wales, UK. Okay, so I got a 10 by 8 bit of card. It's just been gessoed. There you go, a piece of cardboard like that. It's just been gessoed. I like cardboard because, well, it's so universal. And what we're going to do today is, I think, we will paint a bridge. There we go. We'll go for a bridge today.
It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
So very quickly onto the palette then. Here we go. You've got my media mix, as you know, on www.clive5art.co.uk, along with flow improver, retarder, fine mist bottles, and all that other stuff, including brushes as well. And today all I've got on a palette are 3 colours. So, well, we got 1 colour and 2 neutrals actually. We got a Prussian blue, or you can use ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, whatever blue you want. I use a Prussian blue because it's quite a dark blue, a black type of blue. I got some Mars black, which has actually got a little bit of blue in it. So that black is made with, say, Prussian blue and burnt umber. You could do that. So if you haven't got any Prussian blue, get a bit of burnt umber, and you could add some ultramarine blue to it. You can make a nice dark colour then, like that, and just add a bit of blue to that and get it to a bluish type of colour. There we go. It's just simple. Play around with the colours. Play around with different colours. You might find, oh, I quite like that mix. And that's what I do with. If you want to look at any of the colour mixing, or you want to know how the colour wheel works, there's plenty of videos up in the iCards and there. Anyway, I diverse. So we got Prussian blue, Mars black, titanium white. Bang! And we got a small selection of brushes, as you know, sitting at the side of my desk. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a size 20 short flat. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to moisten my brush down, because that's important, is to make sure that your brush is moist before you go straight into the paint. Otherwise, a dry brush can pull all the moisture, or some of the moisture, out of your paint, and that's not a good idea. So we need to get some white. Let's just get some white on our brush. There we go. White on the brush. And the smallest amount of black. There you go. Come on, black. Smallest amount of black. There. Like that. So first thing, let's get some of this grey on. Let's just mix a bit more white in there. Slap it on. Don't worry about it. Just get it on there. We want a nice pale grey colour. Nice pale grey colour. There you go. Nice simple easy painting today, because we did a palette knife painting last week. If you want to see that one, it's in the iCards in the top right hand corner there, if you want to have a look at that. A little bit more advanced, but this is quite an easy one to get you going. If you've never painted before, I know you can do this. So just very lightly go across like that, and if you're painting on card, just have a little bit of thought, and it's going to dry a little bit quicker. It's going to dry a little bit quicker. So just remember that. So just keep it, if you're finding it's getting a little bit tacky, a little bit of a spray like this, mix that in there, and we're away. A little bit of contamination and celebrations. Get that down there like this. Bit more white, touch of black down there. Bit of mist. All that does, it just moistens up the surface of the paint and just allows you to blend just that little bit easier. There you go. Get that in there like that. Now you could have put this colour, you could have put a little bit of black into your gesso and made a colour ground. That's good. That's good. That would have worked. But I thought I'd show you this way as well. Now with acrylic going on top of gesso, when that dries, it's going to have a little bit of a sheen or a plastic film to it. So that means your paint is going to move over the canvas or board or whatever you're painting on a little bit easier. But doing it with the gesso is easier, so you can prep everything and you can change the colours of your tones, and you're still going to have that tooth on it. A tooth is what the paint actually grabs to, but we've taken that facility away now by putting the acrylic directly onto the board. So I'm going to dry that with a hairdryer. Let that cool just a second. Now we get back to our palette, and I'm just going to pick up a size 15 short flat now. Again, mixing some colour. I'm going to get some white over here like this, and now I'm going to actually mix onto here. So I want a little bit of Prussian blue into there. What a wonderful colour that is. Look at that, wonderful colour. And then just a small amount of black. There you go. So just darken it up a touch. Things in the distance tend to be a little bit bluer than in the foreground, so we just remember that. And we're only playing with greys today, so if we're making some greys today, so I need a nice blue grey. Need a nice blue grey today, so I'm just adding, just play with the colours. And then take it up the canvas and just test that. Yeah, that's okay. It needs to be a bit lighter actually. We need to get a bit lighter. So we'll keep that colour in place and just bring some white to the side of it, rather than mix a big glob of paint. Because guess what? That could be the next colour. So we've already mixed the next colour. A lot of contamination on my palette today, I don't know why. So look. That's better, that's better. Right, okay. So what I'm looking at now is to put a couple of mountains in place. So basically we just need to go and do some mountain shapes like this. There you are. Just put some very, very distant mountain shapes in. Don't worry if there's a couple of different tones coming off your brush. I hope you can see this. I hope you can. Let me just check my cameras. You should be able to. I can always drop the exposure down a little bit on the editing. You should see a couple of mountains and things coming in play there like that. And then just bring that down like this. A couple of rolling hillsides in Wales. There we are. This could be Welsh hillsides. Well, they are now. Get a little bit of moisture on your brush. Smoothing that down. Bleeding that into there like that. A little bit more moisture. No paint, just moisture. No paint, just moisture. Bleeding that down like that. We could put some stormy clouds in the sky later on, but for the moment let's go back into this first colour we made, and now I want to put in another rolling hill like this. There we go. Keep a welcome in the hillside, we keep a welcome in the glen, and my seat is cracking. So you can see there's a couple of hillsides going on there now like that. Can you see it building up? I hope you can. Checking the cameras. That's quite bright, isn't it? So we got two sets of mountains there. So let's add a little bit more black. Let's add a little bit more black to this colour we made. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black. There we are. Nice dark colour. We're thinking about greys today. We're concentrating on greys today. So what I want to do is put some sort of a focal mountain there. So let's let's start. Where can we do this? Let's put another almighty mountain in the valley, coming down like this, because that's what the valleys in Wales look like. You get these hills that want to be mountains, and that's really right in front there like that. The man that went up a hill and come down a mountain. That's an old Welsh film, that is. Check it out on Netflix or YouTube or something like that, and it gives you the story of this man that the village wanted to classify the only mountain in Wales, and what they had to do was they had to spend all this time going up to the top of this hill, as it was, because it wasn't tall enough, and they put tons and tons and tons of soil, and they built up the summit of the mountain or hill or whatever you want to call it, to such a point that when they measured it, it was classified as a mountain, and it's a mountain in Wales. So a man that went up a hill and come down a mountain. Really nice story. Really is. Really nice film. Check it out and you'll see where I live. Around about where I live. If you want to do that. There's lovely. Alright, I'm just going to leave that there like that. So what I'm going to do now is get a little bit of black and blue. I'm going to make it quite a dark colour. I want to just get it there on the very edge of my brush now and just put a few little tippy toppy marks in like this. Looks like there may be some trees and things. On that mountain, bringing in a bit of shadow in to the front of this mountain there like that, so I can just bring that one in just slightly in front there like that. Just playing with grey and blue today, because it's a grey and blue type of day out there today with the rain. There you go. What we can do now is wash that brush. I'm going to get a little bit of white, a little bit of Prussian blue, a little bit of black, a bit more blue, some medium mix, thinning it down like that. I want it quite thin, because I can do this, I can thin it as much as I like on this card, and I'm just going to put a little bit of colour just in the sky like that, just a hint of blue, maybe a little bit more. Let's get a bit of this grey, because there's a grey sky. There we go, grey skies. And you've got that, leaving that white in place because I want it to look quite misty. And even got brush marks in there because I'm just going to darken that sky down just a touch at the top. Make it look as if it's quite a rainy old day. There you go. And I think what I'm going to have to do now is dry that off with a hairdryer, because I want to put some mist in. I want to put some mist in the bottom of these mountains. Right, so we've dried that off. Now what I want to do now is increase this dark, bit more blue, bit more black, bit of white. There we are. So we've got a nice grey, nice blue grey colour. And this is just a number 10 short flat, getting a little bit of kitchen round. And all I'm doing now is I'm going to put some distant trees in like this. very lightly tap in with the brush, just on the edge, on the very edge like that. So I'm just tapping the canvas like this, just to get some tree shapes in. A couple of lighter ones in the back like this. A little bit of black, just to get some, oops, I need a bit of black, because I touched a bit of white there. I need a bit of black now, just a bit of shadow in. Like this in places. And this is where the joys of acrylics come in, because I can dry that straight away now. If it was oils, I'd have to wait for it to dry, and if it was watercolors, it would reactivate what I'm going to do. So this is the joys of acrylics, where I can put layers upon layers upon layers and give this illusion of depth. I don't recommend you force dry your paints like this. I'm doing this because of YouTube, but you can run the hairdryer over it, that's not a problem, or you can just leave it dry naturally, which would take about 20 minutes. It's up to you, but if you want to force dry it, you can. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying that ideally it's not ideal, because it could cause problems with the paint film, but this is just a lesson. It's on paper, so there shouldn't be an issue. I'm thinning down some titanium white. You can use zinc mixing white. I'm just using titanium white because I wanted a little bit more opaque. And now I'm just going to go in with some mist. Again, a little bit of tissue paper in my hand. And I'm just moving that about like this. There's always mist on the bottom of mountains. Well, there is in Wales anyway. We get a little bit of mist coming in like this. Getting that a little bit whiter there. A bit of a stronger mist in these trees, because there's a lot of condensation, a lot of moisture coming off these trees. So obviously it's going to be a little bit more of a mist effect there. Like that. And again, hairdryer. Back into our number 10. A bit more black this time. We're coming forward now, so we want it darker and darker and darker. Now we're going to put some trees in front in the same way. Like this. Like that. There you go. Just brushing that in like that. And you've guessed it, hairdryer again. again to our very thin paint for mist. Now we're going to put some more mist in. Being a little bit more careful this time. Selectively brushing over some of these trees like that. Don't forget, you can use your finger if you really want to. I do. There's no rules in art. If anybody tells you there's rules in art, then they're lying. Art is for you. Art, as an artist, it is for you. You paint the way you want to paint, and don't let anybody, including me, tell you how to paint. Just all I want to do is help people on their journey to painting. I'm not here to tell you what to do and how to do it. I never impose myself on people like that. All I'm saying is what works for me may work for you, and if it does work for you, even greater. If it doesn't work for you, then as long as I've given you and pointed you in the right direction and let you get on with it, that's all I do. That's all I want to do in my life, is encourage people to paint. Again, let's get the hairdryer on this. Okay, Clive, you said a bridge. Where's the bridge come in? Well, the bridge comes in here. So I've got one of these little T-squares. You can make one of these. It's quite easy. A piece of wood and a bit of plastic, or two pieces of wood screwed together in a right angle. Get your right angle in there. Make a little T-square. You can put it against your board, and it's a good one. So we want to put this bridge going in roughly there. So let's draw a line. Zoom. And let's draw another line. Zoom. There we go. Easy. So we need to bring in some sort of rock shape there. We also need to bring in some sort of a rock shape there. This could be actually going over a valley or something like that. Then we need to make our bridge. Then we need to come in on an angle, say there, like that. We need to come down there like that. Just make it easy for ourselves. Just do a simple bridge. There we go. That could work. That would work. There we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's paint that in. So what I'm going to do is get myself a detail brush. There you go. This is, I don't know, number 6. I'm going to soak my brush. That's a little bit of retarder, a little bit of medium mix. There we are. I'm just going to go straight into some black now. I'm just making this nice and thick for myself. I'm going to get my cork on the stick, because we don't buy stuff in the studio, we make it. Again, just go ahead and paint this in, because we need to come down like that. That's the rock face or the valley. There we are. We'll block that in a second. A little bit more retarder. Deep breath. Take your time. Don't rush like me. Try and keep that as straight as possible, or it won't be as effective. You need to bring that down now. There, like that. There's your bridge. That's your bridge support coming in. There you go. Big head in the way now, so I'm going to put this over here. Again, bringing the rock face down like that. Getting our support in. Like that. Just changing my brush over. I'm just going to get the little short flat that I used to do the trees. I'm getting some black and some Prussian blue together. Just mixing those two together like this. I'm just going to paint in this rock face or whatever it is there, like that. As I said, this is very simple. You can experiment with this type of method and build it up. You play with it. I'm just showing you a method. I'm just showing you a way. And if you can make it improve on this, then all well and good. I'd be really happy to see that, actually. There we are. So let's just get a little bit of blue. Let's get the smallest amount of white to that. Let's just put a few. Patterns in, like as if the bits of rock catching some light maybe. I'll do. Happy with that. So one more thing to do now is go back into our detail brush. Put some vertical supports in. Like that. There you go. There's a little mistake there. You can see where I blobbed that. I'll just let that dry. Put a little bit of grey on that after. Again, you guessed it, hair dry time. Right, so what I want to do now is get this little brush again that we put these trees in with. Again, back into some of this blue black mix, quite a dark colour now. Taking a little bit of excess paint off, because what I want to do now is just bring in some bigger trees just in the foreground like this. Just to create that illusion of distance into the bridge. And I'm just going to lighten that up just a touch. Get some black. Some pure black now. Pure black. Just tapping it on there and there like that. Okay. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. Tell you what's really annoying me is this little bit of I don't know if I can do it. This little bit of a... It's a bit grayer than that. That's the trouble when you start touching things up. You're better off sometimes repainting all of that out. And then redoing the lines again. For now, I'll do. Okay, so I want to just get this brush. I'm just going to use the same brush. What I'm going to do is just put a tree in. There, like this. Bit of vegetation. There, like that. You could do the same this side. Just put out a few bushes and things. There. Get the hairdryer again. I use the hairdryer more than a wife. Once more. I'm just going to get some mist. And now we're going to just put a few wispy bits in. Just down there like this. Get into a brush again. There you go. Back into some black now. I'm building up some shadow. Darkening up this edge there, like that. Again. Just darkening up a couple of spots here and there. And there you have it. One easy black and white grayscale painting for you to try, creating depth and distance. Play with this, experiment with depth and distance in a monotone painting. You can use blue and white, red and white, pink and white, green and white, black and white, whatever two tones you want, and create this depth. Once you get that depth and you get that focal look, you're on your way to creating a fantastic painting. So thank you very much for watching this along with me today in the studio, and painting along with me, I should say. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down there. Over there is another video you might be interested in, and there's a couple of links down there as well. And don't forget to visit www.clive5art.co.uk for all your art and craft needs. So thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye.